Mykola lives in a very peaceful neighborhood of the Denver area in Ukraine with his pregnant wife Nastya, known as the area's first eco-settlers. Nastya is an artist who loves drawing and wood carving. She also makes a wooden angel for Mykola so that he can have a protection amulet. Mykola is a mathematician, physicist and ecologist who teaches at the local school, where he travels on his bicycle. The peace sign outside his house is the white crow's paw, which represents the ancient legend of a crow who took pity on people and brought them fresh water and food, losing his wings in the process. Due to the lack of electronics at home, the couple receives no news until Mykola goes to work and watches TV for a few minutes during a vacation. This is how he learns about protesters killed in the capital of Ukraine and possibly Russia. Attack on the country. During class, Mykola is harassed by student Ivan, who thinks his teacher is a stranger and weird, so he wants him to leave. But Mykola never lets him upset him because he believes in pacifism and works on guiding the minds of the youth. One morning while going to work, Mykola saw some soldiers standing on the side of the road, but no one paid any attention to them. When he finally arrives at the school, he is shocked to find it empty, and the TV immediately tells him why. Russia has invaded Ukraine. Remembering the soldiers he saw earlier, Mykola worries for his wife and runs back to his home, but it is too late. The Russians are beating Nastya there, and when she tries to defend her, when he does, they catch Mykola as well. When the soldiers are sure they are not spies, they set fire to the house inside and leave, but when Nastya tries to retaliate by throwing stones at them, the soldiers eventually shoot her before leaving. Don't hesitate to kill. Devastated, Mykola clings to his wife's body as he watches their house burn. A few hours later, two members of the Ukrainian militia find Mykola, and after checking his identity to ensure that he is an innocent civilian, they help him dig a grave for Nastya. They then take her with them to their base. However, before leaving, Mykola makes sure to take the wooden fairy with him as a last memory of his wife. The base's superiors are not happy with the sudden arrival of a stranger, as he may be a spy, but Mykola immediately proves himself by saying that he wants to join the army and wants to drive the Russians out of their country. From then on, Mykola is sent on a heavy training course where he has to exhaust his body and he has to learn to use firearms, two things that as a pacifist he has never done before. Disassembling and assembling weapons is particularly difficult for him, and this causes him to make fun of his superiors, especially when he announces that he has chosen Raven as a codename. Mykola does not let them overpower him and is extra. Trains hard, practices using weapons till late night, and keeps the wooden angel with him so that he never forgets his purpose: to take revenge on his wife. A few weeks later, the trainees learn that there are not enough snipers at the front and that the army is looking for volunteers for the job. Not many people are interested, but Mykola immediately volunteers, only to face more ridicule. Still unwilling to give up, Mykola takes on a challenge to prove himself. He can cross the blindfolded stage in under 20 seconds, disassembles and reassembles an AK-47, and eventually earns everyone's respect. They even start calling him Raven as he wanted. The theoretical part of the sniper training comes easily to Mykola due to his knowledge of mathematics and physics, as he is able to calculate faster than the teachers themselves. He is also excellent at following the #1 rule, which is to remain absolutely still and quiet, even when a trainer fires shots at him on the ground. Unfortunately, when it comes to actual shooting, he doesn't perform well because for some reason, they gave him a different weapon than everyone else, the kind of gun that is not suitable for firing in battle. Whenever Mykola points this out, he is told to deal with it. Once again, Mykola refuses to give up and plans to prove what he can do. The last sniper test takes place during the night, and trainees must shoot as soon as the instructor gets enough light around their subjects from a flare shot. Although Mykola has not fired yet, he uses the light to calculate the distance, and once the test is over, he then shoots under complete darkness and hits the target exactly in the center, which no one else could do. This allows Mykola to graduate with the highest score and ultimately lead the first-class unit to liberate the outpost that has been captured by the Russians. The team successfully sneaks into the area without being detected, and each sniper is assigned a target, but when they are about to fire, they have to stop the plan as a civilian car approaches the checkpoint. Russian soldiers bring both civilians out and hand over their passports, and refuse to give the passports back when they ask the couple to leave. The man creates a ruckus, demanding to be given his things back, causing Russian soldiers to respond with violence. Mykola's team notices this and immediately attacks, killing every soldier with quick, efficient shots, including the man who causes the Russian soldiers to respond with violence. Mykola's team notices this and immediately attacks, killing every soldier with quick, efficient shots, including the one who was trying to take the civilian woman hostage. Once the mission is over, the team hangs the Ukrainian flag to regain control of the checkpoint. When they return to base, Mykola learns that his new companions have gone on a different mission, so he uses this moment of free time to visit the school where he used to work. He was deeply moved by the desolate view of the dusty classrooms. The next day, When the other team returns, Mykola receives the worst news: one of his friends has died at the hands of an enemy sniper. This adds to the list of reasons why Mykola wants revenge. For the next mission, Mykola's team hides a bunch of explosives behind leaves on the trees before hiding in the grass while waiting for their enemy to arrive. When Russian soldiers arrive in the forest as reports had predicted, Mykola hesitates to fire because he sees something he cannot believe. Ivan has joined the Russian army and is joining the rest of their enemies. Coming this way when the captain orders him to fire, he runs away and attacks with the detonator, killing all the Russian soldiers, including Ivan. When the captain asked him what everything was and heard Mykola's explanation, he replied that Ivan had made his choice. Later during a break, Mykola and Captain connected to memories of home. The captain carries a photo of his family with him and explains that he has an agreement with his wife that he will not tell their daughters the nature of his work, so they assume he has gone on a business trip. In return, Mykola shows him the wooden angel, explaining that it is a symbol of his own family. A few days later, Ukrainian forces manage to secure trenches near the border, so the sniper team moves into position to wait for Russian forces preparing to invade the area. Keeping the angel with him at all times, Mykola sets out to do his job, but he loses his usual calm when he sees that among the oncoming Russian soldiers he can see the man who killed his wife. Killed. Desperate for revenge, Mykola keeps asking for permission to fire, and the captain refuses him each time because the enemy is not in the right position yet. Eventually Mykola grows tired of waiting and fires anyway, not only killing the soldier, but also giving away his location to a hidden enemy sniper, who immediately returns fire and kills the captain. As the Russians fired at them, Mykola had to drag the captain's body across the field, dodging every bullet and every bomb. Hours later, when Mykola finally returns to base, his superior promises that an investigation will be conducted to find the sniper who killed the captain, and that when they finally find him, they will take care of him. We'll call Mykola. Meanwhile, Mykola is overwhelmed with guilt and decides to throw himself into a solo mission to make up for his mistake. His sniper skills are still at their peak and he manages to kill several Russian soldiers, but without anyone to support him, he becomes too risky and gets injured by enemy bullets. Mykola goes to a secret hideout to take time out to recover and watch the news to get updates on the political status of negotiations with Russia, but his break is interrupted by an important call. It turns out that the army has found the location of the sniper who killed the captain, so Mykola needs to get back. Before the mission starts, the soldiers are told all the information collected so far. The sniper's bullets have wide range, he has already killed 5 Ukrainian snipers and 3 machine gunners, and his name is Sari. To make matters worse, he records all of his kills and posts videos to discourage them. They even had the courage to post a recording of their captain's death. At least all these casualties have allowed them to pinpoint Sari's location, and since they cannot fill that location with mines due to chlorine storage in the chemical plant where the enemy is hiding, they come up with an alternative plan. Have come, clearing the way for them so that Mykola can enter inside and take on Sari face to face. When the mission begins, all the Ukrainian snipers get into position and crawl through the grounds, waiting for Mykola to get inside the building. The first soldier he meets is the other man who attacked his home and still remembers Mykola saying that he should have killed him the first time. After killing him with a quick and satisfying shot, Mykola gave permission to his comrades to attack, prompting all Ukrainian snipers to fire at the same time, and the area was captured without issuing any alert. Only 2 Russian snipers remain, including Sari. They don't realize something is wrong until they stop receiving messages over the comms and go to check on their fellow soldiers and find them dead. While Mykola uses the opportunity to move deeper into the building without being noticed, Sari calls for backup and sends another soldier to keep watch before returning to his location, where he sees a small wooden angel. Becomes surprised. At that moment Mykola comes out, jumps on Sari to kill him with a knife, while another Russian soldier who is waiting for him falls victim to a grenade. Then backup called by Sari arrives in the area, so Mykola uses Sari's radio to tell the new soldiers that they will pay for what they did. As soon as the Russian truck parked, Ukrainian soldiers began firing on it, destroying all targets within seconds. Now that Mykola has avenged his wife, his friend, and his captain, he decides to take leave and return home to visit Nastia's grave, and make sure that the fallen cross is fixed. Sadly, as much as he misses his home, he cannot stay there as he has more work to do for his country. Soon he is on another solo mission, ready to take down as many Russian soldiers as necessary.